In this series, I'm going to show how to create a theme for your app. And there's many reasons why you may want to do this. A few of the reasons why I have in the past is because it makes it a lot easier to adapt to changes that come from, if you're working with a company, they probably have a designer that is creating all the designs and handing them over to you. And if they decide they want to change a font or some colors and all kinds of stuff, you only have to change it in your theme. So all those changes happen in one centralized place instead of through, 50 different screens in your app or whatever. So by putting it in a centralized place, you don't have to dig through your entire app and make a ton of changes for whatever the designer decides. Or if you don't have a designer and you're just creating your own app, over time you might change your mind on how you want things to look. And by having it in a centralized place, it's a lot easier to make changes and even swap out color schemes and fonts and play around. It gives you a lot more flexibility and able to change things and try out different ideas. Another reason is it will allow us to adapt for light and dark mode easily through the theme. So instead of having to handle it for each view or each view controller, the theme will handle changing colors for the dark and light. Also, the theme will handle accessibility. So dynamic font sizing is handled by the theme. So if the user has a preference set, the font sizes will grow and shrink. Similarly, with accessibility, you can increase and decrease the contrast. So just some examples, you can see the background color changes with the contrast, and then also bold text. If it's enabled, it'll bold text that's not already bolded. And then the last piece would be creating this in a module so that you can basically reuse this logic in different projects. You won't be able to use the exact same module, but you could just duplicate it and modify it for your project. So each project is going to be a little bit different and have their own things in the theme, but it'll follow the same basic structure. So for colors, there's adaptive color with the name of the color that you want. So right now, this orange color is background primary, which automatically adapts to light and dark mode colors. So in dark mode is purple and light is orange. Similarly, the font is theme.adaptive font and then a font style. So font styles are Title 1, Title 2, Title 3, heading, body, button, link, small, micro. It's a little bit different than the UI font text styles. So UI font text styles have similar names like Title 1, Title 2. I think there's 12 different text styles, but that only refers to the size of the font. With the theme, we want it to really refer to a font style. So Title 1 is going to be for specific sizing and also a specific font. So there might be two different styles that have the same sizing but are different fonts. So that's why it's a little bit different. The way that UI font text styles work is a bit more flexible. But when we're working with a theme, we don't really need that flexibility and we don't really want it because we want it to be centralized in our theme instead of view controllers and views making their own individual decisions. We just want the theme to handle all of that for us. So it makes our view controllers and views much smaller. So the point of this whole series is just to create a theme using UIKit and then wrap that for SwiftUI. The rest of this series is going to evolve around this idea of a theme that handles colors and fonts, and we'll make a simple app to demonstrate the power of using themes and how easy it is to adapt to changes.